The Office of Management and Budget.
Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator.
Chris Long, Deputy Administrator.
Right. And Commissioner O'Grady is walking in. And we have Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator, joining us. And now we'd like to turn it over to you to introduce yourselves and present your budgets. Good afternoon.
Sharon, Administrator Judge, General Division, Court of Common Pleas. Very happy to be accompanied by the Honorable Julie Lynch, Chair of the Finance Committee on the Court of Common Pleas. Jennifer Goodman, who is the Executive Director. Susan Betzel, our new Deputy Court Director. And we also have Kimberly Canada, who is our Finance Director. Excuse me, good no.
Turn on the mic.
Oh, is it not on? Okay, sorry about that.
Make sure they're all in.
Lori Francescan, our new Chief Probation Officer, Stacy Worthington, hiding behind, sorry, Kim, and Michael Pfeiffer, our IT or Computer Director. Okay, so thank you for the time very much. And we're going to basically split this up. I'm going to talk about three things briefly, and then Judge Lynch is going to talk about three things, or a few things. Mine are basically going to be things that have been occurring during 2015, and hers will be new initiatives in the year 2016. Briefly, the continuation of the FCJS modernization project. I think that FCJS is about, in terms of court service, about as old as I am. But it is certainly moving along to be replaced, and there's such a wonderful collaborative effort with the other county agencies, the Domestic Relations Court, the Court of Appeals, probate, the Clerk of Courts, Municipal Court, and the Municipal Court Clerk, the Prosecutor, the Public Defender, the Sheriff, the Auditor, data, and of course you. So, is there anybody I missed?
I think that's it.
I don't think so.
You can breathe.
So, yes, thank you. So we're very much appreciative of the ongoing work on that area, and hope that will be completed in the not too distant future. The second thing I wanted to discuss briefly was the medically assisted treatment program, and that is the Adult Probation Department. And of course you're aware of this because you approved the grant, but there was an increase to the PIIG grant of $1.3 million, and this is for the creation of a medically assisted treatment program providing those probationers who have opiate addiction and utilizes primarily the drug Vivitrol to medically treat them, along with intensive either in or outpatient services as needed. This is a collaborative project between General Division, Albus House, and OSU Talbot Hall, with Talbot Hall providing all of the medical and detoxification components, Albus House residential, and other treatment services. This is going to be affecting 150 probationers beginning on January 1st through the end of June of 2017, 18 months in all. The program is now, I believe, called POWER, or Partnering Organizations for Wellness, Empowerment, and Recovery. And finally, interpreter scheduling services for countywide planning, in other words, to centralize interpreting services throughout the courts to better facilitate the use of certified interpreters by the courts and their departments. That planning has begun in calendar year 2015. Any questions in that regard, please?
Are you seeing any abatement in the heroin issue at all?
Considering the folks who have been going through my courtroom, at this point I would have to say no. It seems to me that there's an increase rather than a decrease, but I do not have any official statistics on that. Jen, do we have anything?
No, we're definitely still seeing the same numbers. Mm-hmm.
So,
Sorry to hear
okay.
that.
Judge Lynch, thank you.
I want to first talk about two initiatives for the 2016 calendar that do not need funding, but both are brilliant initiatives and both very, very sorely needed. One is a collaborative effort on the civil stalking protection orders. When those people come to the court, first of all, they're in a state of trauma. And this initiative will allow, at the intake level, for that person to be, first of all, directed to the right place. Mm-hmm. That's when it's a collaboration between the domestic court, the prosecutor's office, the sheriff's department, our office, so that these people can, first of all, get attached to the appropriate court they need to be at, and then secondly, resources available, whether there's criminal prosecution that can take place, various components to these people who are traumatized when they come to the court. And some of them have never been down here to negotiate this whole entire complex. It's a very, very needed initiative. And it won't require any funding, just reorganization.
Great.
So I'm very pleased, after 12 years on this bench, to finally see that happen.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it's a very, very good initiative. The second initiative that we're not requesting any funding for, but in the benefit to it is going to save money, and that's the Medicare initiative. So when probationers, there will be a day set aside at Job and Family Services. Probationers can go there if they are eligible for Medicaid. They will be hooked up to the Medicaid program, and Medicaid then can fund drug and alcohol treatment, taking that responsibility away from our budget. And that is going to be a very necessary, and I'm very excited to finally see that be in place. It is long overdue. Then specifically, the budget request for our court is in the probation department. As with, we have seen no decrease in heroin use, we are also seeing a complete increase in sexual offenders. And as a judge and as a member of the community and as a mother, it's just a horrible, heartbreaking scenario.
And thank you for sitting on the bench, both of you, every day and dealing with this issue. It must be extremely hard.
It is the
Extremely
worst
hard.
part of the job, if I can be honest. These, in almost 90% of the cases, they're children. And so here is what we have. Research does indicate that people who are on the sexual abuse docket, they need very specialized supervision, because now these officers have to go into their homes. You know, you guys, this is a computer. So these people have to check electronic devices. They are they can be so small. So it takes about 3 to 4 years on probation for these people to be able to get the help they need, quite frankly. But it also is a huge drain on a probation officer to be able to monitor and make sure that they are following their protocol. So thank you very much. We are asking for the increase for that position. And lastly, the CBCF adult probation supervisor. As we get directives from the legislature as far as who they want incarcerated, I do believe there is a new day dawning on the criminal scene of how we treat defendants. And it's no longer just put them in prison and throw the key away. There are some people on probation, however, that are way higher risk than other people, and they need that kind of structured environment in the CBCF facility to train them and help them meet the goals of probation, so that they are not a threat to, quite frankly, everyone sitting in this room.
Right.
And so for that, we make the request. Do you have any questions, comments?
Well, I just wanted to say, it's great to see this civil protection stalking order process where it is today. Back when I was the clerk of courts, we had deputy clerks that were addressing the issue, and I wasn't a very popular guy when I brought it to the attention and said, this is the wrong way to address this problem. We told folks we'd be happy to continue to do it and work through it until we got it to a place where the right folks were doing the job. And it's so much better now than it was, and our people did a great job, but they were deputy clerks. They weren't trained to be social workers. They weren't trained to handle these kinds of issues. That was a long time ago, and you guys do
Not
a
that
fantastic and you guys do a fantastic job now, and I really appreciate it, all the work that you guys are doing in that area. So.
That's just, those two initiatives, I just feel like are well past their due date.
Yeah.
I asked my heroin question because we sit here almost every year over the last probably 3-4 years and have heard about this. And I know everybody's mobilizing to try and do something, but I want to ask about sexual assault and sex offenders and our children. And what else can we possibly do? We have the Internet Crimes Against Kids Task Force, and that's run collaboratively throughout Franklin County, but by the Sheriff's Office. It's been amazing at interdicting some of these offenders. But what can we do as a total community to interrupt this behavior before they get to you?
Do you know, Commissioner Brooks, if I had the answer to that, it would be revolutionary, because as most of these offenses begin on the computer, they're
Is that what you see? That's what you see in the court?
So what happens is, basically, you give them either importuning, where they want to hook up with a child.
Right.
You get where it's a minor in different phases of nudity, and then just basic outright horrendous pornography. And those are all electronic. And I'm telling you, in this age where there's so much good that comes from the internet, you have that flip side. And when somebody is sitting in the privacy of wherever they are, I do not have an answer for you. I do not know how we intercept that. I really don't. And I am so sorry to tell you that.
I'm just and I can sense you're very frustrated. It's harming our children, it's harming our society, and it's just totally out of control.
Out of control, and that's our future.
Everywhere, it's not just here, it's everywhere across the globe. It's horrible. But thank you for dealing with, I guess, the outcomes of that technology change, and I hope you do come up with an answer.
You work on it too.
All right.
Don't just leave it on me, girl. Leave it on me, girl.
All right, friend.
I am in trial, so at this point, if you have no more questions, I am going to thank you for everything you
Your
do
Honor.
to be
Thank
fiscally
you,
prudent
Your
with our county, and I would ask permission to leave.
Please. Thank you very much.
Same with Judge
I am in an attempted murder trial right now,
Ugh.
and so I have the jury waiting. I thank you very much, and Mr. Ken Wilson, I do want to thank you and everybody who works with you and the commissioners for this budget process. It has been working very well, and the court does appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Appreciate the cooperation.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now we have our clerk of courts.
All right. I do have my prepared remarks. I want to say thank you, first of all, to you and your staff for the continued positive working relationships as we launch into 2016 with a proposed operating budget of $15,688,572. My 208 deputy clerks continue to perform at a high level of service in both my legal and auto title divisions, and are taking our motto of timely, accurate, and courteous service delivery to heart. We have much to be proud of in the continued positive feedback, customer comment cards, emails, and surveys we receive in our service, on our service. My deputies can truly be seen as professional document management specialists with a knowledge base that serves our customers well. In 2016, we will continue to seek out ways to advance and modernize the delivery of clerk services. In Auto Title, our North and West branches recently celebrated their one-year anniversaries in their new improved locations. We expect to add those improvements to our East location in the early months of 2016. In our dealer services, we have by far the vast majority of Franklin County-based auto dealers who take advantage of our excellent titling services. However, as we continue towards our lofty goal of being the only county in Ohio that does 100% of titling services for in-county-based dealers, we have begun working with the county purchasing and the prosecutor's office to offer an innovative pilot program of clerk services based in-house at large volume dealerships. We hope to be operational within the first months of 2016 with this new program. Another exciting advancement in Auto Title is the upcoming debut of our Auto Title mobile app. This application will be the first of its kind in Ohio. It's designed to offer mobile access to our dealer portal for registered Franklin County dealers, as well as real-time information on wait times both for dealers and for our casual customers at all 4 of our branches. It pays to do your titling work in Franklin County. These innovative auto title services help us retain and advance our titling business in our county, which further strengthens our already robust auto title enterprise. In fact, the auto title business activity since 2009 has been extraordinary. Within the first month of 2016, we anticipate surpassing $1 billion in cash receipts recorded. Our ability to generate these revenues has been significant for the county, as we have been able to return $4.1 million to the general fund in the past few years. We anticipate providing additional revenues to the general fund again this year.
Thank you very much.
In our legal division, we continue to strengthen our virtual presence with the growing information technology office, adding the first chief information officer for the clerk's office. CIO Jason Sankey is already helping to improve communication on critical virtual services, not only within our spread out 12 location offices, but also within our in-county partners in county government service. We will launch a new state-of-the-art website early in 2016 that, using the open data concept, will link users to information they seek, whether it or not is found within Franklin County government services. This project is moving at a rapid pace and incorporates features that customers expect and will appreciate. We will also continue to take a leadership role in the multi-year, multi-office and agency project that Judge Sheeran referred to modernize and improve the operating system most of our online services are based on, which is FCJS. Together, we will work to provide the best system for all our customers, stakeholders, and users. It has been my distinct pleasure to serve as this county's clerk, overseeing the great work of my deputy clerks who daily provide timely, accurate, and courteous service. Together, we have enhanced the level of professionalism in this office. I look forward to continuing in this role into 2016 and beyond. Thank you for this opportunity to shine a light on their commitment to excellence.
Great.
Any questions?
How's the new courthouse location working out?
Oh, just fine.
You like it?
Just
Yeah.
fine, yes. But, things are changing with our space needs, and certainly we've been attempting to work with a PFM to stay on top of efficient use of our space. It hasn't always been easy. Our records division with online services, now our records division is dwindling, and we're seeking ways to reuse that space. We're also repurposing the space in our appeals division as we speak. So a lot of things going on. There's also changes on the 4th floor with our domestic and juvenile.
So do you anticipate less space needs or just different?
Yeah, just different. Let's say different. Reconfigured, better utilization of space.
Good to know.
Good work, Mary Ellen.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to, I don't know if I want to ask about cross-county titling is put out there, that I thought that the article and the observation were a little bit, cross-county titling has been around a long time.
Right.
Cross-county titling, because of its nature, is set up to certainly make titling easier for dealers. Those are the folks who wrote the legislation that made it happen. But it also is in essence set up in a way that disadvantages counties like Franklin County.
Right.
We are, I would assume, I haven't seen the numbers in a long time, but still probably the largest titling operation in the state of Ohio.
Yes.
Your office still titles more cars than
Yes.
every other county in the state.
Absolutely.
And your office, along with Hamilton and Cuyahoga County, probably title the vast majority, more than half of the titles of the cars in all of the state of Ohio.
And I could tell you, Commissioner O'Grady, we've worked this up when we went to talk to the dispatch about the incomplete reporting that they did. If you can see this graph right here,
Yeah.
that's the total cash in the period that they talked about. This is the part they reported on. Can you see that little red
That's the
line?
part that the other counties are.
That's the 0.2% of the
Yes.
almost $1 billion that we cover, and that's what the story and the editorial was about. And we certainly brought that to their attention. So, my 68 deputy clerks working in auto title were done a disservice by the dispatch, and we made sure that we set the record straight.
The law was set up to make it easier for dealers, which then therefore would make it, and it put us at a tiny bit of a competitive disadvantage with some of our neighbors, because they run smaller operations and have the ability to cherry pick. And at one point we had Delaware County, this was back when I was a clerk, we had Delaware County actually poaching
Right.
or trying to poach
There
our
are
dealerships.
other counties as
We
well.
put an end to it, and so I'm certain that that's all going on. So anyway, I thought that, I knew that the numbers were what the numbers were, but I thought that it was worth pointing out that I thought that
Yeah.
that was an incorrect incorrect representation of what actually happens.
It was
in the auto
incomplete is what it was. I mean, the number was correct, but when you looked at the broader picture of the work that we're doing, and we still are committed to trying to get 100% of the Franklin County-based auto dealers doing their business with us. And we still do outreach. We still have, someone who goes out and works with those auto title, is a liaison with their auto title offices within the dealerships. And this new program of taking possibly the top 5 producers and putting a clerk on site. Wouldn't handle any cash, but would do the titling immediately for these.
That's good stuff.
We're hoping to capture 100%. We already do about 99%. It's just not all of the
You
titles.
still have the one title runner that lives at Pickerington that drops them off at the
At Fairfield County?
Fairfield County.
Yeah, that still happens, but we're running titles.
Yeah.
So, our dealer liaison runs titles as well, picks up and delivers.
Well, at the time I'm talking about, the people are employed to
Right.
do title work for many different automobile dealerships throughout Central Ohio. And one of them actually lived in Pickerington.
Mhm.
And would very conveniently, it's not anybody's fault, he would drop them off at Fairfield County.
Because it was easy.
Because it was on his way home. It was
Yeah,
right there
geography.
at 256 in Hill Road. There was nothing that you could do about it.
And there's
You were
no-
gonna lose it. He was the biggest title runner in Central Ohio at the time.
There's nothing nefarious with the
No.
other clerks in other counties. It just is, it's just happenstance that it's convenient, geography, right?
There's some nefarious.
There-
There's some-
There has always been, we want dealers to understand that we continue to make Franklin County strong if they do their titling work in Franklin County, because we have this opportunity to give back to the general fund. And we do continue to be quite prosperous in our auto title enterprise. At the same time, we have a lot of dealers that are located in Franklin County, and it has been known for other clerks to come to these, especially the ones on the periphery of the county, as saying, we'll take care of your titles. So we're doing the best to get their attention and be the best business choice for them.
It's
And,
a good law. I don't want to say
Right,
Cross County
it's a
County is a bad
convenience.
thing. If you think about all of Southeast Ohio, there are so many counties in Southeast Ohio that don't even have an auto dealership
Right.
in the entire county.
Right.
So those are folks who generally come to Columbus to buy their automobile anyway. Well, previous to this law in 2001, they had the title, the car had to be titled in the county of residence. So they would have to, the dealer would have to then, send somebody to that county to do the title work. It's a
lot
good
of
law.
work.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's a law that's also set up to hurt the larger counties more than the smaller counties.
Yeah, and I do shout out to Kenny Skeeton, my Director of Auto Title Services, who is a young go-getter, very innovative, and he's always looking for ways to keep this business in Franklin County. And frankly, we were just talking about possibly next year, if we continue to work so hard to be so prosperous, that we'll invite the county commissioners to come out on Employee Development Day to meet these hardworking auto title clerks, and they have an opportunity to present to you any additional overage that
Great.
might help you balance the
That'd be
budget.
Is he still a city councilman in Urban Crest County?
I'm not sure if he's still on the
They're
council.
not
Someone's
back
shaking,
yet.
Is he?
yeah, they're.
Urban
yeah.
Crest City Council.
He's still on it, yeah. He's,
Good guy.
we're very happy to have him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, we really appreciate your work, and especially that it benefits the general fund. I think I get that nefarious thing now in other counties, right? Got it.
Yeah. There was a gentleperson's agreement, from what I understand, when cross-county titling went into effect, that adjacent counties would not poach. However,
Money.
people, well,
Gotta be a
It's
gentle
money.
person. Gotta be a gentle person
some
to have a
people aren't
gentle
gentle.
person's agreement.
Yeah. Thank you so much
So,
for your work.
yes,
Thanks
all right.
for presenting.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks.
Oh, I dropped that. Yes, thank you.
Are welcome.
Yeah,